Do people actually like plus-size girls? I've been fat since I was a kid. I've worn out hundreds of pairs of jeans just from my thighs rubbing together. I met this guy online. I thought I finally found the one. So I decided to meet him in person. But instead of a date, I got cyberbullied. Hundreds of messages blew up my phone. People I didn't even know were saying the most disgusting things. I photoshopped a funeral photo for you, one said. Hope your whole family joins you soon. Fat pig, ugly bitch, whore. The nightmare started the day we were supposed to meet. I met Ryan at a trendy bakery at the Grove. We'd been talking for 3 months, and this was our first time meeting. I came here prepared for the worst. Before I even stepped inside, I spotted a girl through the window. She was wearing a stunning sky blue Lolita dress, covered in lace and bows. Her hair was in perfect brown curls, topped with a matching headband. She looked like a porcelain doll. Sitting across from her was a guy in an expensive off-white hoodie. He was talking excitedly, and she was smiling, her eyes curving into little crescents. They were such a gorgeous couple. Everyone in the shop was stealing glances at them. I stood at the door, feeling like I'd been hit by a truck. The girl, that was my roommate, Ada, and the guy, that was Ryan, the guy I'd been talking to for 3 months. The dress Ada was wearing, Ryan bought that for me. It's an authentic Japanese brand, cost thousands of dollars, and I'd never even worn it. Ada knew exactly when and where we were meeting. I'd been losing sleep all week over this date. Last night, I even told her, I'm just gonna do it. If he hates me, but I have to see him. Anyone with half a brain could see what was happening. Ada was pretending to be me. This wasn't an accident. We were supposed to meet at 2:30. I left at 2:00, and it's a quick Uber ride. But halfway there, Ada called me. Nora, I forgot to turn off the stove. I'm making that chicken soup you love for dinner, and I can't leave work. Please go back and check it. Are you serious? I'm already on my way. I'm gonna be late, I snapped at her, but she kept begging and guilt-tripping me. I was terrified the place would burn down, so I turned back. By the time I finally got to the shop, I walked right into this high-stakes drama. What the hell was she thinking? I wanted to storm in and expose her. That dress was the first gift Ryan ever gave me. I dreamed about it for so long. But I'd never worn it, not even once. The reason was simple, the dress was a size small. I'm a size XXL. Ryan kept asking for photos of me in it, but I always made excuses. I told him I'd wear it when we finally met. I really hoped I'd lose enough weight to fit into it by then. I didn't, and now I was just standing there, feeling like a complete fraud myself. I didn't have the right to expose her, because I was a lie, too. Ryan and I met on a social app. I'm part of the Lolita community. I'd post photos on the app, always without my face, and I'd get hundreds of likes. Why? Because while most girls were using basic filters, I was a master at Photoshop. Long legs, tiny waist, perfect curves. All it took was a few clicks. I had plenty of guys hitting on me, but most were just creeps looking for benefits. Ryan was different. He was a total Lolita con. He liked every single one of my posts and said I looked beautiful. We talked every day, and eventually we started getting close. At the time, I just graduated and my job offer had been rescinded. I was a mess. I wished I could Photoshop my real life as easily as my photos. But I couldn't. I was a loser in a body I hated. Online, though, I was loved. For my birthday last month, I posted a heavily edited photo, and it blew up. Ryan said he had a surprise for me. It was that dress. I'd mentioned I loved it once, but it was out of print and super expensive. I don't know where he found it, but he got me a brand new one. That night, he sent me a voice message. Did you get the gift? Do you like it? His voice was low and sweet. I love it, I replied. I really did. Most guys just ask for photos, but he actually gave me something precious without asking for anything in return. I thought, this is it, this is love. I was falling hard. "Happy birthday, Nora," he whispered. "When are you free? Let's finally meet." "Okay," I said. I did online boyfriends before, but I'd never met any of them. Catfish was a term made for people like me, but for some reason, I really wanted this to be real. I regretted it the second I said yes. I made excuses to delay for a month. During that month, I lived on 1 cucumber and 1 egg a day. I lost 15 pounds, but I only went from a size XXL to an XL. I could starve for 3 more months, and I still wouldn't look like Ada. Ada is 55, 100 pounds, and looks perfect in everything. The difference between that dress on her and that dress on me, night and day. Actually, I couldn't even zip it up. I knew exactly why Ada was there pretending to be me. She smelled a rich guy from a mile away. I should have walked in and dumped a cold coffee over her head. But why didn't Ryan notice? Why was he smiling so much? He was even feeding her a bite of chocolate cake. God, I couldn't watch anymore. I turned around and slunk away like a coward. Ada didn't get home until after 10 p.m. I was waiting for her on the couch. "Want some soup?" "I made chicken soup," she said, taking off her headband. I don't know how you like this stuff. It's suffocating me." "Tell me," I said. "What was that today?" "Oh, nothing," she shrugged. "Dating online is risky. I just want to see if he was legit for you." Ada started this whole long-winded speech about how we haven't known Ryan long, and how he seemed too good to be true. She said she was just protecting me. "So how was he?" I asked. "Oh, he's actually pretty great," she smirked. I lost it. I slammed a bowl of soup on the floor. "Ada, even a ghost would be scared of how shameless you are. You just saw he had money, didn't you? You gold digger." Ada works at a luxury counter and dreams of snagging a rich guy. She hated being called a gold digger. She'd do anything to find a wealthy man, save drivers' numbers from luxury Ubers, add people from high-end restaurant reviews. I knew all this, but I thought she was at least a decent friend. I was wrong. I was just the one who told her too much about Ryan. So what if I did? Ada stepped on a piece of vegetable, crushing it into the floor. "Look in the mirror, Nora. You really think he'd like you? Your thighs are as thick as his waist. You've been worshipping that dress for weeks. Why don't you try putting it on?" She threw the dress at my face and walked into the bathroom. I've been fat for 20 years. I've heard every insult in the book, but this time, it hurt differently. I was shaking, but I couldn't move. I didn't even have the energy to talk back. Back in my room, my phone buzzed. It was Ryan. "Did you get home okay? Nora, why didn't you ever send a photo of your face? You were saving the best for last, weren't you? Seeing you today was such a surprise." I didn't reply. Ryan posted a photo on the app. It was a shot of Ada from behind. The caption read, "Finally met my Lolita." I stopped eating for 3 days. No cucumbers, no eggs, nothing. I checked the scale every time I went to the bathroom, but the numbers barely budged. I felt like I was rotting from the inside out, but I just wouldn't get thin. Eventually, the hunger just disappeared. Ryan stopped messaging me on the app. I guessed he and Ada had moved to WhatsApp. We never exchanged WhatsApp because the app had this love meter feature. If you talk enough, you light up letters to form a special word. We were only 1 letter away from finishing it. A week passed in total darkness. Then, out of nowhere, Ryan messaged me on the app again. "Nora." I don't know why, but it feels more comfortable talking here. "You feel like a different person on WhatsApp. I don't know what to say to you there." I burst into tears. I looked in the mirror. I was still fat, but it's not a crime for a fat girl to like someone, right? I played it cool and told him the app was our home base and that I felt more comfortable here too. Talking to him again made me so happy. I told myself, if I can just lose 5 more pounds, I'll ask him to meet again. It was the hottest part of late summer. I put on a sweatsuit and went running. I hadn't eaten in days, so my legs felt like noodles. I couldn't even run fast. I must have looked hilarious to anyone watching, a slow-motion jogger barely moving. But the plateau finally broke. In less than a week, I lost 5 pounds. I cried as I messaged him, "Are you free this afternoon? Let's meet." He replied, "Okay." I rushed to shower and put on my makeup. I got to the bakery 30 minutes early, the same one at the Grove. I was wearing the Lolita dress, the size large one I'd bought myself. I really hoped that when he saw me, he'd smile the way he did for Ada. But I waited from 4:00 p.m. until it got dark. I waited until the shop closed at 10:00 p.m. Ryan never showed up. I was scrolling through Instagram when I saw Ada's new post. She was at a 5-star hotel. In one of the photos, she accidentally caught a guy in a bathrobe. It was Ryan. I didn't message him. I don't even remember how I walked out of that shop. My heart didn't even hurt. It just felt empty, like a cold wind was blowing right through my chest. I was so hungry. I felt like I was going to die. I went home and ordered everything. Burgers, pizza, fried chicken, tacos. I spent over $50. When the food arrived, I started eating like a wild animal. I ate and ate until the food reached my throat, and I couldn't swallow anymore. Then I threw up everything. As the tears and vomit poured out, I couldn't stop thinking about them together in that hotel room. I threw up even harder. Ada didn't come home for days. I wanted to move out, but I'd already paid 6 months of rent. Poverty and weight were the two mountains pinning me down. When Ada finally came home, I tried to be a ghost. I'd listen at the door to make sure she wasn't in the common area before I'd even go to the bathroom. I lived in a daze, sleeping all day and eating in the middle of the night. Until Ryan started blowing up my phone on the app again. "Nora, Nora, Nora. Why aren't you answering? At least say something so I know you're okay." Seeing his messages still made my eyes sting. I finally replied, "I'm fine, how are you?" Ryan seemed like a different person. He was being so careful with his words. After talking for a bit, I found out something shocking. He'd spent over $10,000 on me, but then I had suddenly blocked him on WhatsApp. I dropped my phone and stormed out to pound on Ada's door. She opened it, looking sleepy in a silk nightgown. "It's the middle of the night, are you crazy? You used my name to scam him out of money. Have you no shame? Everyone's an adult here. It was all consensual. What did I scam? Then why did you take his stuff and block him? Please. That guy is a joke. He's no rich heir. He's just a coder, no house, no car. Why would I actually date him? You want him. Go ahead, he's all yours." She slammed the door in my face. I stood there like an idiot. My phone buzzed. Ryan was still messaging. I took a deep breath and replied, "Let's meet tomorrow and talk." The next day, I went back to that same bakery. Third time's the charm, I guess. I got there 20 minutes early and ordered a chocolate cake. It smelled amazing, but it tasted like ash in my mouth. Then Ryan walked in. He looked around, his eyes passing right over me without stopping. I sighed and forced a smile. I waved. "Ryan, over here." He walked over, looking confused. "Hi, do I know you?" I took a deep breath. "I'm Nora." Ryan's face twitched. He looked at me with pure disgust. I want to explain what happened," I started, looking down at my cake. I told him everything. About Ada, the switch, the lies. He just scoffed. "I don't care about any of that drama, but you're going to pay me back for everything I lost." I nodded quickly. "I'll return the gifts, I promise. Not just that, the bags I bought your roommate, the hotel, the dinners. I want it all back." I was stunned, but Ada spent that money. That had nothing to do with me. "Whatever, you two were in on it together. If I don't see the money, you'll regret it." He stood up and walked out. I went home with my head spinning. I looked up some legal advice online. Since the gifts and dinners were part of a voluntary relationship, he technically couldn't sue me for them. Especially since he couldn't prove I was part of a scam. I felt a bit better. I sent Ryan a long message, apologizing again and promising to mail back the Lolita dress. I told him I wouldn't be involved with Ada's part of the mess. He saw the message, but he didn't reply. I thought it was over. I was wrong. The next morning, I was woken up by dozens of notifications. Ugly bitch. You've got some nerve. I photoshopped your funeral photo. Hope you die soon. Whore, pig, slut. I was shaking so hard I couldn't breathe. I checked the app. Ryan had posted a warning to other guys. He posted my photoshopped Lolita pics next to a photo he'd secretly taken of me at the bakery. He called me a scammer and a catfish. The post went viral. Thousands of people were coming for me. I tried to explain. I wrote a post telling the truth, but it didn't matter. People don't want the truth. They want a villain. The insults didn't stop. They felt like hands reaching out from the screen, choking me. By midnight, I couldn't take it anymore. I took 2 sleeping pills. I still couldn't sleep. I took 2 more, then 2 more. I don't know how many I took. But when the world started spinning, I used the last of my strength to call the only person I could. I woke up in a hospital bed. Ada was there. She pushed me as soon as I opened my eyes. You idiot. If you're gonna die, do it somewhere else. Don't ruin our apartment. I just laughed weakly. I'd set her as my emergency contact. She'd actually saved my life. Looking at her then, she didn't seem so hateful. She was still beautiful, but in a human way. I wasn't trying to die, I whispered. I just wanted to sleep. Well, you're an idiot. I told you that guy was trash. He is. He's cyberbullying me right now. What? Ada's eyes widened. That loser. He's got some nerve. The hotel room, I paid for that. And those luxury bags he gave me, they were fakes. Cheap, bad fakes. I was stunned. Wait, what? I'm a pro, Nora. I could smell the fake leather from 10 feet away. That's why I blocked him. He's a total fraud. I went home and spent 30 minutes writing my own story. I described everything. The fake bags, the lies, the hotel room Ada paid for. I posted it on the app and tagged Ryan. In less than 2 hours, my post blew up. Now, people were flocking to Ryan's profile to call him out. He panicked. He started messaging me, begging me to delete the post. I'll delete mine if you delete yours, he typed. I looked at his profile one last time. I have to ask, I messaged him. You heard my voice. It sounds nothing like Ada's. Did you never even wonder? I did, he replied, but she was just so pretty. That was it. That was all it took. Fine, I said. Deal. He deleted his post. I cleared my feed. The drama was over. I uninstalled Photoshop that night. The next time I fall for someone, I want it to be as the real me. Fat or not, I'm done hiding. Final letters lit up on the love meter. Game over. Delete, uninstall, goodbye.